Happy Halloween, everyone. My name is gotnate, and this is Titancraft Season 4. Today's date is October 27th, 2018. The server has been up for about a month, maybe 3 weeks, not quite sure. The server did launch sometime early October, so I guess that's 3 weeks. So, I've been called out. I've been asked to do a quick recap of what I've done over the last few weeks. I didn't think I was quite ready, but Light sure did, and so let's have a quick tour and recap what I've done so far. It is October, so as you can see, I'm wearing my Halloween skin. I want to thank Mikani very much for making this total conversion of my normal skin for me. This is Spawn. True Spawn, as you can see, was demonstrated right here. Twice. Or it's possible that they came in from the resource world. This is where everyone starts. Cable Guy just did this incredible job designing Spawn for this season. He got to play in creative mode on this server before it launched, while the rest of us were wrapping up Season 3. Cable has been somewhat unsatisfied with his creative build, so actually he's been going in survival mode and tearing this thing out and rebuilding it. That is totally incredible, and I highly respect Cable for doing that. Down here behind True Spawn, you're going to find the portal to the resource world. I don't believe I've actually been to the resource world this season, and I don't really have plans to go visit it for the first time right now. Over here, we have the Iron Titan. Decoration is in progress. The crew behind the Titan finished it, I think, in about 26 or 30 or so hours after server launch. So they've been busy. We do run on a Spigot server, so technically all of these villages have merged. And so we wouldn't get the Titan rates that you can see that we're getting here. The mods were kind enough to first verify that this thing was built to spec and then provide a command block to simulate normal Titan rates. Over here we have the shopping district. This thing has just exploded. I'm totally impressed with how healthy this economy is looking. Once I have something worth selling, I am looking forward to putting up my own shop here, but that's for the future. I can never actually find the nether portal around here, but now that Cable has opened up the roof to spawn, I know it's just right over here. This is main spawn. This hooks up to the Nether Hub. It's not actually true spawn. I showed that to you a moment ago. And up here we have the shopping district again. But I already did a little flyby here, so we're actually going to hop into the Nether. So, we are inside of a hat. A rocket engineer designed this amazing Nether Hub with a little bit of an Alice in Wonderland theme. We got the Mad Hatter's hat and something to do with the Queen of Hearts. Some kind of garden area over here. This one looks undeveloped. And over here, there's a hedge maze. And I'm always totally turned around. There used to be direction indicators up there, but it looks like they tore those down. But I know there's one right here. West, exactly where I wanted to go. Over here, we have the portal to our Guardian farm that Zebra wants to turn into the Titanic, sunken down among the icebergs. And then plans expanded a little bit, so the the Titanic is also going to be, half of it's going to be the Wither farm. So on the first day of the server, we set up a little starter base out here on an island nearish to the Titanic monument. Over here we've got the little starting mine, and over here I have a little day one zombie grinder. It's cheap, it's simple, it's not decorated, but it's functional. This season we discovered that we've got some lighting glitches going on, so every single grinder needs one of these lighting resets. And I'm not even sure that that's quite effective, but it seems to be effective for this this grinder. It's your pretty much bog standard drop the mobs a certain number of blocks to soften them up, and then it's a simple sword kill. Get a little bit of XP in the items. There's really not much more to say about this grinder, so jump cut. So in among these icebergs, we have a Guardian monument, which, as I mentioned earlier, we plan to decorate as the Titanic, or at least half of it. Light Horizon has been doing much of the work over here, and as you can see, we've pretty much just put up walls. Eventually, it's going to be something epic. So on day one, the mods told us that the end was open. So we brought over this cleric just to get the ender pearls needed to open up the end portal. And of course, we went over to the Nether to get blaze rods to make Eyes of Ender. Here's a little map of our area. As you can see right here by the portal, the mine entrance, the zombie spawner. I haven't even showed the double cave spider spawner yet. So let's do another jump cut. So here's my double spider spawner in all of its unfinished glory. Both of these spawners happen to be at the exact same Y level, so that's nifty. I'm just dropping them on magma blocks. These fences were for putting a water blade to keep them back down at the magma blocks, but I never quite got that right. And with the lighting updates problems, I kind of went to do other projects. Here's the AFK point right here. As you can see here, I've got lots of lighting glitches. Yeah, fun, isn't it? It means I'm probably going to have to reset all of the magma blocks. We'll get there sometime, but as I mentioned, I've got other projects to work on. Oh, hey, it looks like somebody left the minecarts running. Yours truly. And no spider silk. And here we've got your standard minecart unloaders and smart droppers that go into a water stream back to the storage right there. And we've got the same thing on the other side as well. Jumping ahead because it's locationally convenient. On our second day after we defeated the dragon, we began work on the perimeter for the Wither Farm, as I'm sure you already saw in Light Horizons video. Interestingly, this highway does actually run right through, it is the edge, but it runs right through the perimeter of the Wither Farm dig. Perimeter. It's in the perimeter boundary. How many more ways can I state this? It is in bounds of where we want to dig out for the perimeter, and the perimeter does go around the tunnel. Over here we have the not yet open sign for the Wither Farm, and that's basically because we're gonna have poor performance until the dig is done. We decided to replicate the farm designed by a rocket engineer from Season 3 because it was absolutely brilliant with rates, and it did run well on the 113 test. Look at this days since last accident sign. I believe it's been more than 4 days since we had an infamous accident. This farm does have beds in it. And if you know how beds work in the Nether, you right click on it, you get a big explosion. Seems that happened this season. But I was asleep that time IRL, so I wasn't there. I was good at not exploding any beds when I put them down, but that happened. It seems like can't fly. Okay. Whoop. As you can see, we have many a piston and many a tripwire hook. This is a pretty standard mob farm mechanic. Each individual spawning space has a tripwire hook and a piston to push the mobs as they spawn in. Of course, the mobs won't spawn up here because I'm too close. My job when we built this thing, was to lay out this edge, and everyone else just extended out to the other end. I had the farm up on the other screen. That was an extract from Season 3, and we've been replicated from here. I want to thank a rocket engineer for designing this thing. It's an absolutely brilliant design. As you can see, we've got all the beds and the slime pushers over here. The reason was that the beds don't stick to the slime blocks. And they're also non-spawnable blocks and more or less slab height, so the mobs won't step over the slime pushers. I don't think we've got a good way to get to the concentrator over here. That was one rocket. So much lag. So over here we have once again the slime pushers, and we concentrate them down here with the second sweeper and drops them down to the kill blocks where there's a player with a looting sword to try to get some skulls. This is not the final design of the storage area. We just kind of needed to get something up when we built this thing, but we've got some cool plans in creative. Yeah, so this is where we're at with the Wither Farm at the moment. We just now need to dig out all of the blocks in the perimeter. Until that happens, performance of the farm will be pretty poor. I'm going to leave that to other players this season, considering that I probably did about a third of the digging last season. Zebra is leading the effort on this perimeter and farm on this season, and it's in good hands. I think that she needs to do a video on this thing at least when it's complete. Zebra, you've been called out. On our journeys to the end, a skeleton spawner was found on the surface level by Makani. So we marked it, claimed it, and moved on because we wanted to fight the end dragon. Over the next couple of days, Zebra and myself and Bernando developed it into a very basic skeleton grinder. We have plenty of bones. We have plenty of arrows. Again, because of our server lighting problems, I have a switch to be able to just toggle it. This other one isn't button-based. We have a toggle switch to put it between manual kill mode and automatic magma block mode. So once we had the area established with the skeleton grinder, I've been busy. This has really been the area that I've been working at the most for the first few weeks of this server. I kind of flattened the area, and I have a couple of maps that, if my editor is any good, they're on screen right now. Light and Bernando put up this kelp farm that has been so incredibly productive. So productive. Eventually they're going to hook it up to furnaces, but it is where it's at right now. Early on, first day or two, Light captured a zombie. And in my process of terraforming the area, I just left it there. I planted a couple of trees around it. But from that simple skeleton grinder, we have our end portal. Titancraft does have an ender already. You can see the path over here. It looks like the ender has already had some upgrades. Sounds like there's a farm here. Oh yeah, there's a farm. So, somebody's been busy. This is the new Docam Ilmango design of the ender for Minecraft 1.13 with the new spawning mechanics. The spawning platform is now just that little, I don't know, 2x16 strip, I think. And an endermite. And the endermen just come and spawn like crazy. Given what I'm seeing over here, right, we have weird settings on the server because we've got 3 or 4 columns of players. So mobs don't activate if they're more than 16 blocks from a player. So many of these Endermen aren't actually going to be coming, so that really hurts the efficiency of the farm. That's unfortunate. At some point, that 16 block AI rule will be turned off, but that's where we're at right now. Here I am back at home base, so I have a quick shortcut back to home base from my area and the starter farms area, and that's what this map here is, which is the one that I'm planning to have my editor put in. Right here we've got Skelly Grinder, we've got the Kelp Factory, Cable Guy. I didn't actually explain that Light has a resource pack that turns zombies into Cable Guy. Yes, guy who did spawn. It's funny, you should really get the resource pack and check it out. Pester Light for it. And this particular zombie that he captured was running in full chainmail armor, which is what Cable Guy prefers to wear. Got the two different maps for just progress updates and keeping them outside of the area to never update them again. I really liked what the pattern that the ink farm did both before and after adding the kelp and the sugarcane. Let's go over and look at that now. I think that there's been enough teasing of that kelp farm. Kelp farm was finished a week ago. What was it? October 20th? And unfortunately, I had to be away from the server for a week due to business trip. And unlike Iskall, I don't backlog videos before business trip. In fact, I don't even do videos. Well, yeah, I do videos because you're seeing them, but I don't do them with any kind of regularity. So here it is, my Squid Farm. This is the same design introduced by El Mango and used by False Symmetry and Wells Knight. In fact, I was, this is actually the second farm of this design that I built. So I actually built the first one on a private server at about the same time False was building hers. But this was actually about half as big as the one that I did on the other server, and probably a little bit bigger than False's actually. The first one I designed was flush with the ground, and this one I'm kind of playing with the design a little bit. I'm planning to put a structure here instead of the dirt that we've got there now. Now I can't fly, so I'll be right back. So as I was saying, I put the grass here to see where I'm a river or a savanna biome. Squids will only spawn in rivers and oceans and not savannas or savanna hills or desert or any of the other biomes that aren't river or ocean. Mango says that you get better rates with it covered up, so I put this layer of grass here, but that is temporary until I can get a proper structure up. So now, the elephant in the room. What are the rates on this farm? Well, so far I have gotten exactly 1 ink sack. It technically works. Here is my makeshift AFK point. So it's really too early to actually say whether rates are good or not, but I do have it set up for if there are rates. Here's my first minecart unloader. I have only been on for about a day since I completed this farm because I've been away on business. Here's the second minecart unloader. And when I have been on, there have been 3 or 4 columns of players. So, somebody's loading an ocean somewhere, more than likely. I timed it. It takes a minecart about 3.5 minutes to go from one end to the other, at least when there's not lag. When there is lag, it does tend to take quite a bit longer than that. So I checked in with the mods, and they do say that the deep spawn timer is not 5 minutes, but it's actually the number of game ticks. So my single minecart should be enough to get all the single ink sacks that drop, in theory, from the squids. So here we have the minecart running at a pretty slow clip because we have 3 columns of players. Reset is in a couple, 2.5 hours. I will be attempting to be present here at the ink farm when reset happens. As I said, I finished this ink farm on Sunday night and had to leave on business trip first thing Monday morning. So I really have not had the chance to put it through its paces. That one ink sac that I got out of it, I actually hadn't even finished putting in the something. Maybe I hadn't finished clearing the water over here, but it was just sitting at the bottom here. I picked it up rather than minecart. I didn't have the minecarts running at the time. I'm sure that YouTube loves me running through these sugar canes, so I'm going to keep doing it. I do have some screenshots I took over the course of the season so far. I'm going to put a slideshow at the end of the video for that. And I'm out right now. Server has been up for more or less 3 weeks. I've played on it for more or less 2 of those starting at launch, and I'm really looking forward to continuing with terraforming of this area. Let's see if I can't take the air this time. This layer of grass is temporary. Like I said a minute ago, I do plan to put some kind of structure on top. I'm thinking something that is squid related. And as far as the rest of the area goes, I'm planning to do a fake mushroom island. I'm going to put down mycelium all over this island and import mushroom cow and really confuse anybody who comes around. Having the kelp farm where it wound up being built will of course complicate things a little bit, but I'm sure we can figure something out. And of course we have cable guy. That's pretty much all I've got for this video. I've been gotnate and will continue to be gotnate, and I suck at outros. So let's look forward to a November update, and I'm gonna cut it here. Goodbye.
You guys know how much I like red. We're going to be focusing on a massive red dye farm. Now this particular red dye farm is going to focus on the conjuration of poppies. Lots and lots of poppies. Time-lapse music. Time-lapse. 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 Time lapse music. Time lapse, doing the time lapse. Time lapse music. Time lapse, doing the time lapse. This is an absolutely crazy design we have here. Like, it's got to be out in the middle of the ocean. It has to be in the spawn chunks. There's wizardry involved. Time lapse. Time lapse. Doing the time lapse. Boom 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 boom. Time lapse. Time lapse music. Time lapse music. Time lapse.
Oh, are you still here? Go pester Light for calling me out on this stupid squid farm that's not even done yet and then not even touring it. Goodbye.